He says, you know that's my creek, right? I'll kill you. So I go outside and call the cops.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Backlash Podcast. Been a minute. Tate and I have been kind of on and off the grind. I feel
like we've started this podcast the same way the last 3 times. We've said the same exact.
Our schedules are just crazy right now. But yeah, I don't even.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Pretty much sums it up. The thing is, like, we're coming into like the last part of summer, and it's like, I don't know. You really got to make the time count now, because when does time go back? When's that happen?
I think it's actually October, but I could be wrong.
So we're in the last month and a half of having that extra hour, which is a big deal for me. I schedule stuff around that time change.
And we've already lost a lot of time, you know, because here in Georgia, in the Eastern time zone, which you're in Tennessee or Kentucky, you're in the same time zone I am. And just 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was getting dark right at like 9 o'clock. You know, and now, you know, like 8 o'clock, 8:15, it's getting dark. And it gets really bad in the winter time. In the Eastern time zone, I don't know how it is for you guys, Alabama, other places. I guess it'd be worse. I don't know. But I know like 5 o'clock, 5:30 here, and coming in these winter months, it's going to be pitch black dark. So like, it's terrible.
Man, 4:30 gets dark. And it's like, you just got to make the most of it right now. And, you know, in the fall, early fall, it gets a little bit, it's not as bad, but you got to make the most of it. So that's kind of where we're at right now. You and I need to get together. We need to plan a trip, because we haven't fished together all year.
I know. You need to come down. I want to get you on a shoal bass.
I would love to, man. I'm gonna haul up the kayak down there, and we're gonna have to hit the river. I've also got a good river up here, and I saw you were in Pigeon Forge recently. We should have like met up there. I'm only 2 hours from Pigeon Forge.
Okay,
hour and a half.
I didn't know you were that close. I got a side note that Creek Fishing Adventures, John. You ever watch him?
Yeah.
I got his number, and he said I could come up there anytime. So I'm sure we could do like a 3-way meetup.
Sure. I've talked to John before. John is actually, I think, from around me. I think his name's John Dalton.
It is.
I want to say. Yeah, he's really laid back. His videos are super simple, but they're so interesting because he's fishing somewhere different all the time.
He's like such an inspiration when it comes to like, he's the only guy in the game that's not doing like crazy B-rolls, drone shots.
And is killing it. He's absolutely killing it.
He told me, he's like, I shoot all my videos on my iPhone, and like, so he's just out here just living his life, just going to a new creek all the time, and his views are really good. He's growing. I'm pretty sure like, he basically quit his full-time job, and he's mainly doing YouTube full-time right now, and he's just like coaching basketball on the side, and that's all he does right now. So we need to get him on the Guggen squad. We need to talk to Matty B. Hook him up.
Keep him on the Guggen squad. He stopped. I remember seeing one of his videos. He stopped by the HQ not too long ago. Last year? This year, maybe? I don't know. Like, what do you got going on over there? You babysitting? What's up?
Well, my wife was going to have my 3-year-old with her, and she had to run somewhere real quick. And right now, he's just destroying my garage while I'm shooting this video. So
you just said, you're maintaining your composure while he's doing it.
Hey, you got to.
It's kids, man. It's kids. I've got a 5-year-old just started school, and it's taking adjusting for all of us. So I get that. Did you see our boy DC? Do you follow pro fishing any? MLF? Or?
I follow it just enough to kind of know some of the things that are happening.
Yeah.
But I did see he won that big old trophy. So
he pulled out the dub up in New York here last Friday. I want to say last Friday. And I met DC in person. He is very laid back, very country. You get to meet those guys, man, and it's just cool to see him win. So I've become a fan. Of course, I'm affiliated with Guggen. I work for them, and he's a Guggen pro, so I have that as well. But I just really root for him, and this was his first one outside of the state of Alabama. He had won one, I want to say, on Lake Eufaula, and won one on Smith Lake this year, and then this was the one in New York. So super cool. You ever met DC or no?
I haven't.
Okay, I thought maybe we had talked about it before. Maybe you know his camera guy.
I know his camera
That's
guy.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember his camera guy was actually getting some traction on YouTube, right?
He was.
What was the name?
Bee Fishing Outdoors. His name was Brett Burke.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So he doesn't do YouTube anymore, does he?
No, I remember like he was kind of like my rival because like I would get 200 subscribers and he'd get he'd get 250, and then I'd catch up, get 300, and then he'd have 400. So like we were like neck and neck, and then the next thing I know, he just stopped posting, and he's like, "Oh, I'm DC's cameraman now." So I guess you guys that are shooting YouTube videos, you never know. Like you might get hit up to be a professional bass fisherman's camera guy. Who knows?
You never know, man. You never know. Kind of like me. I mean, I'm not a professional camera guy or nothing like that, but you know, I do Google socials now, and I don't get to post as much stuff on mine anymore. I don't post nearly as much as I used to, just because you eventually run out of content ideas.
It's bad, yeah.
And so it kind of sucks in that aspect, but I mean, it makes up way more for everything else. I mean, it's my full-time job now, but so I'm super grateful for that. But I don't know, are you experiencing any burnout with like TikTok? Like I go back and forth. Like I want to do YouTube so hard, and then I want to do TikTok so hard, TikTok/Instagram, and then I just get burnt out.
Yeah.
And it's like right now, like I'm so tired of seeing like skits and doing skits, and there's a lot of people that's having success on them, but I'm just so burnt out on this TikTok, Instagram skits.
TikTok skits aren't a big thing as big as they used to be. Like
no, they have definitely went down. I've noticed that for sure.
So that's a lot harder. I've grown more towards the cinematic videos that are like on Instagram.
Seen that?
I've started posting a lot more of those because those do a lot better.
Those doing well for you?
On Instagram, they do great. TikTok, they bomb every time because TikTok isn't promoting those. TikTok is just promoting like funny original stuff, and Instagram is just big on the cinematic shots with the music in the background. Instagram loves it.
It kind of makes sense.
But yeah, I've been experimenting with that, and yeah, TikTok, honestly, I used to get on it probably an hour every day, scroll, get ideas, write ideas down, and it's probably like an hour a week now I get on it. It's bad.
Same, man. The exact same, and I'm burnt out on it. And the thing is, I feel like to really dominate TikTok, you have to spend a lot of time on it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you got to know trends, and sometimes I get ideas just from nothing related, you know, and I would just get an idea from it.
Yeah.
And when you're not on it, you can tell when I'm not on it because I'm just not creative, you know. I've been doing the history videos. I don't know if I've talked about it on here. I've done a few of those, and those get really good traction, but they take forever to make. And now I'm burnt out on those. I think I need to do some like insight into myself and see what keeps me going.
You know how
what
people
I mean?
always say like, "Oh, don't think of content, just be the content." And it's just like that's a good saying, but like, what the heck does that even mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Just be the content. It's tough, man. It's tough, but you know. Anyway, back to DC. Yeah, he won with the drag and drop. You're not a big drop shot guy, are you?
I'm not real big on it, just because I'm not a big finesse guy, and that's all.
Well, you don't have to go finesse that often, right? Like you got bigger fish, which I'm not saying you don't have to go finesse on big fish, but you know.
Yeah, I mean that's mainly it.
I mean you're on the juice too. I mean you got some. Spots.
Even dead summertime when the surface temperature is 90, I'll probably be throwing a half-ounce jig. Like, just the conditions for me to throw finesse is few and far between. And every now and then I'll throw it. Like, if it's just a day where you can't get a bite, you know, you can't buy a bite, I'm just going to throw finesse. But I don't regularly throw it, no.
So what's your go-to finesse?
It's usually a Ned rig.
You just go straight Ned.
I love Neds, man. It's just, you can chunk it a mile, like it has no wind resistance. Like,
I hate them so bad, man.
Oh man.
I hang up with every net I've ever thrown. I get hung up, and then the fish come off for me too. I don't know
Really?
why. Yeah, even with the weed guards, I still hang those suckers up. I have a lot of wood. I fish a lot of lakes with a lot of lay downs, wood, stuff like that. So you know, and then when you fish them in rocks, they get hung between the rocks. You know, I just don't like them. I'm just not a big Ned rig guy. I will throw them, but usually I'll go shaky head and I'll go drop shot.
Yeah.
That's kind of my order I go in. And gotta love good soft plastic.
DC, he's a big offshore guy, and that's one of the reasons I really like watching him. Is he is like the best in the game when it comes to fishing an offshore structure.
Yes.
Like that guy's a hammer, man.
Man, I was watching that tournament because I'm pretty much required to and make posts about it, which is, you know, not a bad job to have really. But he was like out 30. He like caught 30 pounds within like the first 30 minutes. Like something just absolutely insane, you know. Which I know sometimes you see those numbers that the MLF put up, and it's easy to forget. Like they're counting every fish. So like when you say someone catches 100 pounds, it's just like whoa, you know.
Yeah.
What do you think about that setup? Do you like that setup, or do you kind of wish there was more pressure on catching bigger fish? Like, what do you think about that? I mean, I like it better than like, you know, other professional leagues, but
I mean, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty cool setup. Because, I mean, you can either catch a few big ones and really up that number fast, but if you can just get on some threes all day, hey, that's fun. So
you're saying the incentive to catch bigger fish just built within the tournament. I do like the fact that they went from a 1 pound minimum to a 2 pound minimum. I kind of like that.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was super cool.
It really should be.
Yeah, I think 2 pounds is a
2 pound bass.
I think that's definitely good.
Just your average little starter size, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. So there's been a new emergence of a podcast.
There has.
We've been really dialing in on what's it called? Fishing After Dark. Fishing with Yap Pack has started a podcast. You've been listening? He's posted 2 episodes. I want to say up to this point.
I listened to a little bit of the first one. I was going to listen to his second one with Norm, and I haven't got the chance to really listen to it yet.
Yeah. Have you? Okay, so you didn't see the podcast. Anyway, he's got like a little soundboard where you can do the pause and like make music. I'm like, man, I really wish we could do that. That freaking sucks.
I mean,
I'd love to like.
You could technically just like add the sounds after we shoot it.
You could, yeah. But then you'd have to like strategically like account for pause. And,
you just need to get you a soundboard on your end and just hit it whenever.
Just hit it, and so you can hear it too. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But so you listened to the first episode?
Part of it.
Our boy Yap Pack.
Yeah, part of it.
Yeah. My boy was going hard. He's got like three podcasts going now.
I know.
He just went from 0 to like 2. He started one with his girlfriend. I want to say.
The first 5 are easy.
They are, man. They are, and then it gets a little podcast gets old when you're worried about your other content, and life happens, and it gets tough, you know.
Yeah.
But how many podcasts we got now? We got like 12.
It's probably it's in the double digits for sure, somewhere around there.
I'm gonna look this up here. I'm gonna see how many we got. I love doing the podcast though. It's just hard to get time to do them. How do I pull this up? I don't even know how to pull it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is number 12.
There we go.
We're 12 podcasts deep, man. Not too bad, not too shabby. Did you see where the crackhead caught me in the gas station?
Yes. And I was really wanting like a hidden cam update on that, but you didn't provide.
Well, I've got some footage. Unfortunately, I didn't get the first part where he like initially comes up on me. I see him coming through the window. Like I'm just in there getting some minnows. I'm gonna go do some crappie fishing, and I see him coming through the window, and I don't know that he knows I'm in there. The guy walks in, and I'm just sitting there waiting, you know, getting about 4 dozen minnows, a couple dozen shiners, and he rose up in there. He says, "Are you the guy that stole my sunglasses?" I said, "What?" I said, "I think you got the wrong guy, buddy." Then he says, and the funny thing is, he says this while I have a $300 pair of sunglasses around my neck. You know, I'm sponsored by several companies that have sunglasses. I'm sponsored by a sunglass company. This guy says, "So you're the guy? Are you the guy that stole my sunglasses?" I said, "No, I didn't steal your sunglasses." Then he was like, "You're one of the 3 guys that was down at the creek that day." "Yeah, I was down there. I saw you." And he's like, "Yeah, you stole my sunglasses." and this conversation is happening while there is someone, you know, being checked out, and then 2 women that work there, and then they have this room that's technically, I think, illegal, and it's got a bunch of slot machines in there.
Okay.
And he just goes in there and starts, yeah. Well, anyway, no, he doesn't go in there to begin with. He goes back out the door, and as he's going out the door, this is what he says. He says, "You know that's my creek, right?"
Oh, no.
And I was like, I didn't even say nothing. I just shook my head. All right. So the first time, and I know you've seen that first video, I believe.
Yeah, I did.
You've probably seen clips of it. He was like telling me, he was like going crazy, like saying there was people from, or no, there was a city from Rome or something up on the hill. I don't know. This guy was cracked out of his head. And this time he was a lot more coherent. Is that the word? He seemed a lot more normal, and he still thought that I was stealing his sunglasses. You know. So here's the thing: like, when's the next time this guy's gonna pinpoint me? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
am I gonna
he
be out at the
recognized you.
Wendy's?
He recognized you.
He recognized me. That's the scary part. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, when this guy just pops up. Now I did go outside and call the cops. Because okay. Let me backtrack
Wasn't
here.
he threatening you? Like, if he sees you down there again, he's going to do something, or what? What was
He didn't say that, but he says, "You know that's my creek, right?" So he didn't come out and say, "I'll kill you." I almost wish that he would have said that, because then I could have just probably done something about it. But as I get ready to walk out the door, you know, the women that work there are just like losing their mind. They're like, "I can't believe this guy." And I was telling them all about it, and then I go to walk out the door. When the guy rode up in there, he didn't buy anything. He just said that and left. So I go out to my car. I got the boat hooked up, and this guy pulls back in. I thought, oh no. So, you know, but I wanted to talk to the guy. Literally just talk to him and be like, "Hey, buddy, you're probably growing marijuana down this creek, or worse, even doing meth." And I've done a background check on the guy. And I just want to say, "Hey, man, I don't want anything you got, but I have permission to fish this area of the creek." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, he was in there playing the slots. So I was like, they told me, like, you know, you probably shouldn't go in there, even though I wasn't going to cause any trouble. You know what I mean? I always am packing something in case something were to happen. But you never want that to happen. So I go outside and call the cops. I know there's probably nothing they can do, but I'm just wanting to get this on record. You know what I mean? And they show up. I take them in there, point the guy out. Like I said, in this room of slot machines, which I think is illegal, but they just ignore that anyway. And he turns around, and I actually had my camera recording in my pocket for this. And he said, and he says something. He's like, "Man, I didn't do nothing." And then he was like, he was saying something about me, but I wasn't close enough to really hear him. And then, like, my phone picks him up saying, "Yeah, he stole my sunglasses. I saw him do it." I'm like, what? I don't even know what this guy's talking about. But anyway, just a weird situation. They couldn't do anything about it. But I'm planning on going back to that creek. Now, what would you do? This is the best fishing spot that I possibly have. And we might have to cut out some of that story to make this not as long of a story.
Yeah.
But what would you do in that situation?
I don't even
mean, you
know.
going back to the creek or no?
Oh, I'm going back. For sure. You know, like you said, you might have to bring your friends with you. You know, just in case.
You know, I mean, what if this guy's booby trapped? You know,
Be very-
my wife, by the way, has begged me not to go back. And I'm not going back with the intentions of causing any trouble. I'm going back with the intentions of just fishing a place I have permission to fish. You know? So what's your thoughts on that? Like, what's the best way to approach that? Because I've sat in bed at night and just, I've gotten mad. I've gotten sad. I've been angry.
I mean, it's his creek. What are you going to do? You know?
Well, that's what I'm saying, you know? It's like, and the guy does not own the property. I posted those videos on TikTok, and there were literally people saying everything in the world. Said I should have shot him on the spot.
Oh,
and there were people saying, man, I should have never touched this guy. I should have never even got around him. I'm like, I'm just fishing, man, you know? So there's a lot of different opinions. When it first happened, I was pretty upset. I was pretty mad. And I thought about, you know, I'm never going to be able to fish this creek with a peace of mind again, so I'm just going to drop a pin to it and just let everybody fish it. And then, you know, then I started thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't do that because I don't want someone else to go down there and get shot. So I also considered holding a small tournament down there with just a select few of people that, you know, are aware of the dangers and, you know, and the winner gets like a Corrado DC or something. You know.
Winner gets a brand new pair of glasses that you found.
Oh, that would be great. That I just randomly found. This guy, I don't want to profile this guy, but the guy looks like he might own like half a pack of Marlboros. You know? Like, the cops definitely believed me over him, and I'm not trying to like build myself up and tear him down or anything, but the guy just has that. First of all, he talks like a hick, and so do I, which means nothing. But he's obviously.
So
he looks rough.
What kind of ride does he have? You said he pulled up in something.
A very nice ride, which was absolutely crazy to
really?
me. Yeah, this is the kind of guy that I don't know if I should say this stuff. He's rough. He looks like he's got a record. I done a background check on him. He does in fact have a record. He has a record of meth. And has several traffic violations. I'm actually going to do a video on exposing him very soon. I'm probably not going to say his name, but I'm just going to go down through it and just kind of do a whole thing on him, exposing the Karen. That's probably going to be part of that video as well.
That's messed up.
Yeah. Should I do that or no?
You mess with a man's fishing spot, you might get exposed.
Is that too far? I've been told that's too far.
It might be slightly. I mean, I'm here for it. I'll watch the video.
If I don't mention his name though, like I don't show his face.
I mean, yeah. If you just say this is the guy that did this and this, I'm not showing his name, not showing his picture. Just kind of read the description. You know, it is what it is.
I don't think that's too far. Well, I paid like $30 for it.
Oh man.
And I'm not allowed to use it. I agreed to the terms, which were like I couldn't use it to like for defamation or whatever. But I'm not. I'm keeping the guy anonymous. I blurred out his face in that video, which I thought was very. I don't know. Do you have to have people's permission, technically?
Not if you're in a public property or some type of public setting. I'm not sure if both of you on private property on a creek would count as that.
But I have permission.
Well, if you have permission, he doesn't, and you're recording, that's on him. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to, though. I mean, I'm not going to. And thing is, this guy, I actually know his name now. He has the same last name as me.
Ouch. You might be
so there is a good possibility that this is cousin Jack down the road, you know, and he's going to clap me out here in the middle of the woods.
Y'all,
you know,
you are in Kentucky, man. Y'all might be related.
Hopefully that don't happen, but yeah, crackheads on the loose, fighting crackheads. The summertime bite's the last thing you got to worry about around here. You just got to get to the fishing spot. So, you ever have any crackhead dealings or no?
No, I've never had any run-ins where like I thought I was in danger or any type of beef. I've only had like the weird ones that just come up and just say the craziest things that are like funny, you know, and then like run off, like do their little dances. Like I've had that happen a bunch, but I've never had a beef with one. Now, my dad got in a fist fight with a guy that was strung out on meth. And even the police will tell you, like those, when you're strung out on drugs, like they're tough. And I remember my dad was just like hitting the guy with like ones and twos, and the guy was just like taking them just all day, just eating them. So like, I really wouldn't want to have a run-in with somebody like that because they almost turn into like Superman.
No.
You know?
Well, they do. I mean, that's the Germans gave their soldiers, like back in World War I or whatever, wouldn't it, like they give them some form of pretty much what's in meth or something, you know? Pretty much meth. So yeah, I mean, it basically does make you superhuman.
I mean, you see the videos of them getting like tased, and they just take it, you know? Yeah. So no, I'll pass. I probably wouldn't try to make the guy mad. Like if you run into him, I try to like calm him down. Just videotape him. If he says anything crazy, you have evidence.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, sitting here right now, I don't think I have a single enemy in the entire world. You know, so it's really, I've never been arrested. I did get a traffic ticket last year for expired tags. It was like I don't know, it was just past ever how long I had to renew them. So I have no record. I've always been a good kid. Never got in any trouble. And this random dude has just picked me to have beef with and has approached me now off of the limits of the creek.
And he knows who you are. Like, he recognizes you.
He knows who I am. He does.
Like,
which
he
is a
sees
scary
you
thought.
on the street or in the creek again.
And here's the thing, like, I call the cops, which I've also got some flack about in some of my content. They're saying I'm a rat. But I just wanted it documented. But now this guy has me associated with the cops. Do you think that helps or hurts?
It probably hurts. Especially if he has a record. Like, apparently, like what you said, they come in and he's already like, whoa, I didn't do anything. Like, that just sounds like criminal 101.
Yeah.
You know, like that just sounds like you've been arrested before a couple times.
Yeah.
Because when I see the police come into the store, like I'm not over here wigging out, you know.
Yeah.
But
he was stressed. He had no warrants. His license was from Florida. He lived in Pennsylvania, Florida, and California.
Okay.
Florida, Pennsylvania, California, and then Kentucky, you know. So I don't know. I almost thought, like, what if this guy is like a small part of a bigger operation, you know? But and there's reason for me to believe that. I mean, it's very far-fetched, but I've done research into some other things that I'm not going to talk about just in case it is the case.
Oh no.
There are connections. Okay, I guess I'll just tell you. Shoot, if I disappear, you know what happened. There is a connection between the guy that owns the land and this guy. Now, I've never had direct contact with the guy that owns the land. I come through on a piece of land that's owned by the water company. So, but the piece of land that technically that he was on, there is a connection that I found through an old Facebook post. So, I don't want to dive into that too much. But they were in the same place, a very specific place, within a year of each other. It was tagged on their Facebook pages. And this guy's a very clean, very, you know, well-known community guy. If you're watching a movie, he's the guy that's like the brains behind everything that no one suspects. And this guy over here is the guy that's just randomly growing something, you know, as a small player. So, I don't know. My mind has been turning on that, so.
Detective Tate over here.
I've been diving, man.
Take down a whole operation just because they messed up his fishing spot.
Taking it down. But I mean, you think of like, and like I said, this may be just completely off track. But you think of like the 3 places or 2 places to go for like major drug trafficking, you know, Florida and California. Is that not the 2? Yeah, that's the 2. This guy's been to both. He's lived in both. And the address for the California home, it was a mansion. It was an absolute mansion with an in-ground pool. So I'm just gonna leave it.
So
there.
he had money.
I'm just leaving that.
And he still has a nice
else.
car. He still has a nice car, but yet
he looks rougher than a night in jail. Looks rougher than a night in jail. Absolutely. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff happening up here in the Appalachian Mountains. I'm gonna do that video. I'm gonna go in depth on it. I'm gonna hide his identity, so it's not technically defamation. And you know, I don't want to just completely trash this guy's life. I mean, who knows? Maybe in the next few months he'll change his course and do whatever. I don't want to leave that on the internet or anything. But yeah, I really don't know what else to do. I'm going back to fish the creek. It's just how it is. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to be hurt.
well, we may have to close it out. I think I have to leave here pretty soon.
Are you done?
If you got any closing remarks? It's been like 36 minutes anyway, so.
A pretty long cast. Yeah, we kind of talked about the crackhead a little bit, but we hope that you guys have enjoyed today's episode. If you want to see or hear more podcasts from us, make sure to check all of our past podcasts. And we don't have a sponsor for the podcast, but we do appreciate all of you that listen, and we appreciate everyone that leaves us a review and a 5-star review, leaves us a comment review. I don't know, whatever they call it on here. Just say something good about us. Drop us a comment down there, and we will catch you guys on the next podcast.
Peace.